Wilbur coming today? Wilbur was a character on your TV show. Oh. Are my kids coming today? Oh, well, my name is Fox and I'm Fox, and I'm back doing reviews. Look at my new setup, which looks almost exactly the same. Only difference is hanging stuff. But in any case, on my little vacation, I started watching a couple series, mostly consisting of 2 series, but it's beside the point. But one of them being Bojack Horseman, a Netflix series, which is apparently one that gets great reviews on, at least so far that I've seen. And whoever's seen it tells me it has great reviews, or that it's a great show, a great quote unquote adult show. So I was like, you know what, screw it. Let me go ahead and check this out. I check it out, and yeah, they're pretty much right. The show is freaking amazing. And I'm trying to think of a way, like, unlike, let's say, Bob's Burgers, this one I prefer a lot more. And again, like, this is like, if they took all the problems, if they had all of the, it's like all the problems that, that people have with, like, Family Guy, or, I don't know, Bob's Burgers is getting some good reviews, but, like, let's say Bob's Burgers, or some stuff like that, or, like, other adult shows. It's like they took all of the problems, and then they made a series out of, like, all the problems that people had. Like, someone took out all the notes, and then made a series based off of those notes. And it is glorious. Basically, you follow Bojack Horseman. What is it? A 90s sitcom actor who is now, I think, like 40 or something years old. And he's basically on I don't know how the fuck to say it, but, like, he's basically out of the public eye. He has a giant house. He basically does whatever he wants. And I guess they say he's stunted at his 20s, which, But, he's a cynic. He drinks. He smokes. He has this guy who just lays around his house, Todd, who doesn't pay or do anything. He's just kind of there. And he's basically, quote-unquote, broken. Not Todd, Bojack. And basically it's following him through his life as a C-list celebrity or whatever. And slowly him trying to become a better celebrity while also other things happening around him. And this also is in a world where animals also evolved at the same pace, or evolved in a way similar fashion to human evolution. So there's no, like, pet dogs, there's no pet birds or anything like that. No, there are just dog people, bird people, horse people. That is basically it. Which is kind of funny, especially later on when, like, there's a KFC type place where apparently the only difference between the chickens that they cook and the chickens that, live on the rest of their life is that the ones that are cooked are born in captivity and then injected with hormones to make them delicious and dumb. That is basically the only difference. And again, this show is amazing. Like, probably with, like, let's say Family Guy or The Simpsons, which is probably a better one than Bob's Burgers, is one, they know how to use a joke in this show, and they know how to use, again, very well, time. Or, in other words, continuity. They have great continuity in this, and I freaking love it. And, again, I'm not holding out with backlash for this. I love Rick and Morty. I do. But things like, let's say, some continuity in some bits, it does kind of feel like it is kind of like more or less, which honestly is not bad. It's not bad and well as how they do it. But it is kind of like you have to kind of look for it. And I guess you kind of have to look for it in this too. But, like, let's say the house gets teleported to another dimension and comes back. You'll see the crack around the house through the entire thing. But really, does anything really come up about that later on? Yeah, we see, like, the grass is being cut. So like, okay, we see that there's continuity in this world, as much as we know that we probably not be that we're probably jumping through alternate dimensions, but there is continuity, yes, but it is more or less like something like you kind of see, or like you'd be like, oh, that's where those creatures came from when Rick grabbed these rocks from saving a fart. Stuff like that is something you see and it's just like, oh, okay. Bojack Horseman uses his continuity to set up jokes long after they're even said, or like something that will be brought up later on, and it'll be just a passing thing that they say, but it will be followed up on later on. Whether it be like Todd saying at one point, out of nowhere, kind of, it's like, they say like, what do they say about you? Like, well, they say I look like the Prince of Bandovia, or and stuff like that. And like he said that with a list of other things. And it just so happens like 7 episodes later, out of nowhere, and it's not the focus of the episode at all, the Prince of Bandovia, Todd is seen dressed as the Prince of Bandovia and is taken to Bandovia and starts a civil war, all being told to us through like news and stuff, while Bojack is going through his crap. And the Prince of Bandovia is staying with Mr. Peanut Butter, another sitcom actor, old sitcom actor who used to be on a show that was similar to Bojack Horseman's, where it was like, it's called Horsing It Around, but his was Mr. Peanut Butter's house. Where it's kind of the old 90s sitcom where it's like, they're a dysfunctional family. And Bojack's was because it's a horse adopting kids. Mr. Peanut Butter was a dog adopting twins. But, human twins and human kids. But, the show, like, I'm trying to think, sorry. But, like, and, like, you know, like, this prince is learning about all the stuff happening in his prom with Peanut Butter's like, America sucks, I'm going back to Bandovia, and leaves or some crap like that. This show is so goddamn good with its continuity. It is freaking amazing. Like, this is a show where just just to watch it, like, if you were going to watch this goddamn show, make sure you pay attention to some of the jokes. Make sure you pay attention to what almost everyone is saying, because it links up so well with things to come. It's goddamn amazing. And the thing is, like, it's not like, let's say, Family Guy or The Simpsons, where like it goes straight up cartoony at any point. No, this show is extremely grounded for talking animals who evolved the same way as humans did. It is incredibly beautiful how amazing these are all linked together. The jokes, again, like that Todd joke, is linked together. There's tons of those spread out throughout the entire thing. And again, this show, one, is depressing as all balls. Mind you, people say like, oh, Rick and Morty is so depressing because it's about how there's no meaning in life, stuff like that. There's infinite possibility, blah blah blah. Basically stuff like that. But this show in itself is very disheartening. And mind you, the jokes are still amazing in this, but watching is disheartening seeing like this character who is broken, who says he's broken, who's really just trying to find happiness, slowly get like beaten down, or like when he does things that he thinks will make him happy, doesn't make him happy. It's really amazing seeing this ups and downs, or even like the other characters who try to like become happy and then never become happy, or to fall into the similar pitfalls that they fall into or they come in ruts in. The show is just so goddamn amazing in all of it. It's just freaking beautiful. And I mean that because, unlike, let's say, because again, a thing with Bob's Burgers. Yeah, I like the show. I didn't know where the fuck the bunny ears went. But I do like Bob's Burgers. But the thing about Bob's Burgers is that you can kind of see the formula. You can see the formula so well sometimes. Like, what is it? Bob thinks he's going to become rich or whatever. Turns out it doesn't happen. And the thing is, like, Dan Harmon brought up that like the little box that's captured on my face, captured on my hand for a second. I was like, wait, what? But in Bob's Burgers, you can pretty much guess whenever something happens. In the end, they'll still be back in their burger place doing the same thing. Nothing is really going to change. And Dan Harmon kind of said that. So Dan Harmon, the guy who makes Rick and Morty, he even says, like, the point of TV, unlike, let's say, a movie, the point of a TV show is for you to go on this, for your character to start off in the beginning of the story, go through a whole thing, and then end right back up at the beginning, and have that continue throughout the series as it progresses. And it's kind of like, to put something kind of on repeat sometimes, which shows, like, again, Family Guy or The Simpsons usually get cast into that kind of repeat state. Even though, again, Rick and Morty has shown that they have continuity between each other and all that stuff, like with, like, the cracks in the floor or certain things happening again with the rocks. You do have continuity, and again, I do love that they bring this up, but it's not like, it's not like in Rick and Morty, which I guess is probably the best way I could say this for right now. It's not like in Rick and Morty we have the episode, maybe we'll bring it up, maybe far later on it'll be brought up, but it's not like the Rick and Morty episode where they get into the sucked in the mini dimension, and Rick says that he'll turn Morty into a car. It's not like they left that alone, like saying that Morty can turn into a car, left that alone for a couple episodes, and then later on he becomes a car. It's saved for a final joke at the end of the episode after the credits or whatever, that Morty suddenly turns into a car, it's like, aww, and stuff like that. But maybe it'll be brought up later on. But other than that, that show in itself really doesn't repeat some characters, which, okay, yeah, that's not a really problem, but again, it's things like that, similar to that. It's like, if Bojack Horseman, basically, if they did something like that, if they dropped a joke like that, let's say, I put nanobots in your body to make you turn into a car, Morty, or Bojack, and then, for the rest of the episode, maybe they did the exact same thing Rick did. Oh yeah, sorry, we don't need that, I found a taxi. Drive away, all this happens, and then maybe later on down the line, 4 to 5 episodes later, just suddenly goes, they're in a car, someone drives away and goes, Morty, turn into a car! Turn into a car, and then they drive through it. And so it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot. For everyone else who can't remember, it's like, wait, what? But everyone else is just like, oh crap, I remember that. He said that. It's stuff like that. This is how that show would do. Again, that Todd thing, because that's the most one prominent in my mind, because that one is so good, is he says that he looks like this, and the guy from the ruler of Bendovia. And that's not brought up until, and it's not really even brought up till later on, where the Prince of Bendovia, they haven't really do the whole Prince and the Pauper switch bull crap, or the Prince not wanting to be king so he switches with a commoner thing. That whole joke, that whole little joke is brought up and just kicked into high gear from then. And it's not even the main focus of the episode, which just makes it more hilarious. And that's what this show does so well. I don't really, because going into all of it, it would be like, because I've seen all 3 seasons, and all I have to say is, go watch this show. If you have Netflix, go watch this show. This show is so god dang amazing. It's jokes, there are quick jokes, there are long jokes. It is just, wow, it is just so god dang good. And I love it. I love it so god dang much. And I would definitely say check it out. Again, the show, this show is very depressing. I want to say that right now. The show is depressing in some bits, but it's the kind of depressing because it is character development with these characters. Nothing ever feels like it's repeating itself. Nothing feels rehashed. Nothing feels anything like that. It is its own entity, which I love. It's not like you could look at that and be like, that's Family Guy. That's The Simpsons. It's just Family Guy called now. It's stuff like that. It's freaking amazing. Definitely go check it out. Thank you for watching. Whichever videos that I've done, links are on my face. Subscription buttons over there somewhere. Just thank you for watching. Check out my videos. Hopefully enjoy this. And hopefully enjoy this show. But thank you for watching. Check out my videos. And we will see See you later.
Mr. Sockhead, good news! Your son came to visit!
Hi, Dad. Hi, son. Where's my mom?